Day 5, 6. So what mystery does the box hold for us today?
Oh, hey Thomas. Get ready for something scary. Boogiepop Phantom is not for the faint of heart. This mix of real and surreal, told from many different perspectives, coming together piece by piece, accompanied by washed out colors and a jarringly distorted electronic soundtrack, is best enjoyed alone, if you dare. Hold on tight to your pillow, Santa.
You know, I've heard good stuff about this, so I'm kinda excited. Boogiepop Phantom. You know, I have to say that the name is really stupid. Would you expect an anime named like this to be about depression and monsters and other sorts of problems? No, probably not. I wasn't expecting anything like that. I thought it was going to be more on the cheerful tone, but names aside, don't judge a book by its cover, etc. So, is it actually good? Well, to that I say, it's definitely not for everyone. But I think giving the first episode a chance is always a good idea. The thing here is that when I started watching it, I barely understood what was happening at all. But I soon came to realize that it's an episodic series, with each episode being another person and their problem. And they start involving actual, literal monsters who kinda represent their struggles. Like the first episode, little spoilers here, is about a girl who is depressed. But at the end she decides to pull all her courage together and confess to a guy that she likes. But the guy rejects her and says that he's gonna kill her. And she's like, okay. The thing is that the guy wasn't actually the guy that she liked, but instead looked like him, and was instead a monster who could eat people, but only if they accept it. Or the second episode is about a guy who can see people's troubles and worries as spiders on their chest, and has to eat the spiders to stay alive or something. And it also had this kind of a twisted twist at the end of the episode. But at the very end of the show, it all kind of starts coming together. What once seemed like a collection of random people now seem like a story that was split into many different parts, and it just starts to take shape. It's kinda reminiscent of Twin Peaks, all dark and grim and doesn't make much sense at first, but still intriguing and pulling you in. But I'd give Boogiepop Phantom a 6.5 out of 10. And here's why. While the episodes were interesting in the start, they started to feel tiring after a while. Because at the start I was paying attention, I was trying to invest myself into the characters, but they just weren't that interesting or didn't stand out enough. So while the episodes themselves were well built up, they just lacked the driving force. And in Twin Peaks, it's also about the different people who live in the community, but the main centerpiece who brings all of the insanity together is Detective Dale Cooper, and he's the charm that brings people for wanting more. But here, they lack anything like that. Boogiepop itself, yeah, that's a person or a thing in the anime, rarely appears and doesn't have much of a personality. Boogiepop is mainly there just to get rid of the evil monsters, and none of the other characters really fill the main role that we want. And while some shows succeed with a vast roster of characters like Bacana or Durarara, here it's like they exist purely for the episodes themselves. So by the end of the show, when the massive climax arrived, I was already pretty uninterested in everything.